Item B, recording of the roll. Mayor Annette Burchell has asked to be excused from tonight's meeting, so I would...
Make that motion.
Okay.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Mildren to excuse Mayor Annette Burchell from tonight's meeting. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, approval of the consent agenda. Any changes we need to be aware of? No?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tower, second by Commissioner Semo to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion or concerns? Roll call.
Mildred?
Yes.
Semo? Yes. Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes. Item D, approval of the agenda. Are there any changes we need to be aware of?
No changes.
Okay.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tower, second by Commissioner Semo to approve tonight's agenda as presented. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, receive and place on file 1 statement of revenue and expenditures and 2 monthly cash report.
Thank you. Tonight, I am presenting the financials for the month of February. There's not a lot to highlight this month, but I'll touch base, as I always do, on the bottom line for the general fund through February. Again, you're seeing this, a big negative number here, $276,000. Just to keep in mind, we have 2 months of revenue sharing that has not been recorded, January and February, that we will not receive until April, about $115,000. Again, we used fund balance to purchase a fire truck of $100,000, and used fund balance for the Western Gateway Trail project of about $130,000. So that leaves us in the positive about $69,000 in our general fund. So there's no worries there. With the rest of the funds, nothing major to report. Again, with the major streets, we had our Hemlock Street project, but as far as our winter maintenance, snow plowing, we're right on target with hitting our budgets there, a little underneath, as we like to be. And then we did receive our urgent need grant, just a reminder, with our last month's budget, so our water fund is back up and doing fine, as is the sewer. So as far as revenues and expenditures, nothing else significant to report.
Commissioners, any further questions or discussion?
Just a real minor question, Paul. Just to clarify for me, under the cemetery budget, one of the expense items is perpetual care. Just what is that?
Sure. Just pull it up here. So for the perpetual care of the cemetery, we contract out the grass cutting and weed whipping. So that's what that is.
Got it. Make a motion, we approve the statement of revenue and expenditures. Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Mildren to receive and place on file 1 statement of revenue and expenditures and 2 monthly cash report. Any additional questions, concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, approval of monthly check register report.
Just to go back to E2, I apologize, I didn't segue directly into the cash balances report, but just to touch base on that. As far as our cash balances, we're all healthy. No significant issues to report with cash balances.
I thought we were doing them separately, that's why I jumped ahead.
Do you need a separate motion or anything? Are we good?
If you would, I guess it wasn't included.
I'll make a motion to accept the monthly cash report as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mildren, second by Commissioner Semo to receive and place on file 2 monthly cash report. Any additional questions, concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, back to item F, approval of monthly monthly check register report.
So the monthly check register report was included in the agenda packet, and if there's any questions questions, I could address those now.
I'll make a motion, we approve the monthly check register report.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Tower to approve the monthly check register report. Any additional questions or comments? Can I do a roll call?
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Mildred?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes. Item G, citizens wishing to address the commission on items that are on the agenda. 3-minute limit, please. And if you're able, please approach the podium and state your name. Okay. Item H, citizens wishing to address the commission on items that are not on the agenda. 3-minute limit, please. And if you're able, please approach the podium and state your name.
Paul Grabovsich, 1221 East Leonard. Today I talked to Scott Erickson about the 1,000 block of Florence, which is just on the north side of the theater, and the 1,000 block of Celia. That's where all that water was at, which never had water on it before. I heard a lot of excuses, but Scott finally realized that there are problems on those streets, and they have to be fixed. I'm not going to put blame on anybody. I mean, you people are sick and tired of hearing me play blame. But what's going to happen now? Who's going to pay for this? He said Russell's going to come in there, there's going to be a change order on the project. This equipment was there already. He's going to have to, Russell's going to have to pay, have to charge the city of Ironwood to move his equipment from point A to point B, from the shop to the street or wherever it is. That's going to cost more money. His guys were there, his equipment was there. There was a mistake made on multiple streets, on both of them. And why was the mistake made? And the city taxpayer should not have to pay for that, to fix that, especially Celia Street. Celia Street's going to cost a lot of money to fix. That should have been done right the first time, and it wasn't. I'm just a retired truck driver. Just let it make it ugly. There's nobody here that can say that these streets were done right, except for Mr. Erickson and Coleman Engineering. Those are the only two people are going to say that those streets are done right. Now we finally somewhat admitted that there's something wrong, but city taxpayers should not flip the bill on those streets. And the thing is, why just have Rootsala come in there? Should not those projects be, the repairs be put out on bids instead of just having Rootsala come in there and do it? I think that would be the fairest way. And Celia Street's going to cost a lot of money to fix because of the mess that's there. And one other thing is, I grew up on the corner of Celia and Wetmore Street, the southeast corner, down 907 Celia. And with the moving of that street, Celia Street south, Don and Bob Madsen live in that house. That street must have been moved 6 to 10 feet south. And the contour of their land, their yard was at a nice gradual decline to where the street was. Now, it's disgusting because of the angle of the last 20 feet. I mean, it's like, look, someone took an axe and chopped it down. And the storm sewer drain, the way it looks. Bob says he's not going to cut the grass dirt all, period, on that drain because of the way what was done to his yard. And that whole yard has to be fixed, that front yard. Because I grew up in that house, and I picked many rock in that dirt growing up. And somebody in the city should not have to, the taxpayer should not, that yard should be fixed, and it should not be the taxpayers.
Paul, can you wrap it up?
Yes, and like I said, put that Celia Street, that Florence Street should be put on a bid. Like I said, it took a retired truck driver for me to figure out, just to harp. Why wasn't it fixed?
Okay.
Why wasn't the problem resolved right away before we came to the city? Just afraid of time. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Paul, for your comments. It's something we can keep an eye on. All right, we are still on item H, citizens wishing to address the commission on items not on the agenda. Okay. Item I, new business, discuss and consider approving contract between the City of Ironwood and the Gogebic County Road Commission to patch Ayer Street utilizing asphalt emulsion, chipstone, and total patch equipment.
thank you. This is the section of Air Street from Lake Street basically over to Bonnie Cutup over by the industrial park. As you probably noticed over the past few years, some of the cracks through there are getting bigger and you get that bumpity as you're going through there. The road is in fairly good shape except for the cracks. We've been in contact with the Gibbet County Road Commission. They have a new piece of equipment. It's a crack sealing machine, a spray machine that we don't have, very expensive machine. You've probably seen it around the county where they spray patched the highway and some other areas. It's a cost-effective way to do some of the routine maintenance out there, so we have been in contact with the County Highway Department. They are looking at a time and materials type of agreement with us to do that section of roadway. We'd be utilizing some of our forces, some of our crew, minimizing the amount of labor we'll need from the county, but they have the machine and they'll have probably an operator out there to assist us on that. So again, we are looking at an estimate of $8,200. That's time and materials. It'll be actual cost. And that could be, I think that's hopefully on the little bit on the high side, but it'll be for actual time and materials spent on the project. The materials alone the cost is about $3,000 of that estimate. So again, just one more tool in the toolbox. Nice to share some resources with the county. They have some nice expensive equipment that we necessarily couldn't afford to have in our fleet, but utilizing some of what they have and keeping our costs down. So we are recommending that the City Commission approve the agreement with the County Road Commission for that work.
I'll make the motion to approve the contract between the City of Ironwood and the Gibbet County Road Commission, and I love the fact that there's great cooperation there, and I love the fact that we're going to save the people of Ironwood some money.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Mildren, second by Commissioner Semo to approve the contract between the City of Ironwood and the Gibbet County Road Commission as described in item I. Any additional conversation, questions, concerns?
Any chance of adding to that? If there's like an additional project or something down the line, would that have to be bid separately, or could it be added?
I think we could, again, look at the particular location with the county. They're open to doing this, working with us whenever possible. And again, if there's another location, we wanted to try this to see how it works too. Evaluate it, and if we can do more of it with them, partner with them, I think it's a great opportunity to utilize some of their resources they have and, extend or reduce our expenses. So yes, the answer would be yes.
The Van Busker would be one road that would probably benefit from this as well. There's some pretty substantial crack in there. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's falling apart in places, but there's some big cracks too.
Very good. Any additional conversation? Can I do a roll call?
Tower,
Yes.
Mildred,
Yes.
Semo,
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item J, discuss and consider authorizing bids for the installation of mine safety fencing at various locations.
The city has budgeted dollars for this. We have a little over $21,000 set aside for some mine safety fencing. Again, those revenues were obtained through sales of some easement. If you remember a few years back, sale of some easement to Xcel Energy for some power lines they were putting through that park area. Again, they were set aside for some mine safety fencing, so we are recommending to go out for bids. We'll have somewhere between 3 and 4 locations, hopefully, that we can get some security fencing around in some of the key locations. And once we get the bid back, we bring those back to the City Commission for the next step for future consideration.
I'll make a motion. We authorize bids for installation of mine safety fencing as described in item J.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Tower to authorize the bids for the installation of mine safety fencing at various locations. Any additional conversations, questions, concerns? All those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item K, Manager's Report.
Just a few items to update the City Commission on. A number of the projects that we have on deck are waiting for the weather to cooperate a little bit, and I'll just touch base briefly on those. We do have Depot Park Playground. That contractor is moving forward. There was a meeting here today to talk about that, and they'll be coming in working with our DPW Parks crew to get that set. So this spring, by the end of June, we should have a new playground in Depot Park. The Artist hit blight grant demolition projects. Again, you have a number of houses that have been awarded to come down. Again, that should be happening here shortly. Again, weather getting better, the 2 contractors will be in to start those demolitions. And the truck route installation signs. Those are out for bids for the signs. We'll be opening bids here in the next few days. Andrew, do you remember the date that's coming up here? Next Friday. And those will be coming back to the City Commission at your next meeting. And just another reminder, as the weather gets better here and the snow is quickly going away, we are very actively involved. Jason is with others, with public safety and others, on blight enforcement. So again, if people see something out there that we should respond to call Jason's office. We do have a proactive approach to our blight enforcement. The city is essentially divided up into zones that people have been identified to take a look at. And again, we have more eyes out there looking that are getting information back to Jason and our code enforcement efforts that then get relayed into making contacts with those property owners and following through with ultimate cleanup if we have to. So again, taking that proactive approach, and we do encourage people to let us know if there's something that they see. We can see if it's on our list, and if it's not, we can get it on the list and follow up with it. And kind of in the same breath there, we do have the city cleanup day coming. It's again May 7th, Saturday. It'll be over at the empty lot on Air Street, and an opportunity for people to get rid of some of that junk that's in their yard at no direct cost to them, and we encourage all residents to participate in that. And that'll be 8 to 11, Saturday, May 7th. That's the end of my report.
Okay. Item L, other matters. I guess I would be willing to start myself along with Commissioner Mildren and Mayor Burchell and some city staff. We're down at the MML conference in Lansing this week, and it's a good opportunity. We met with some of our legislators down there. We also met with some departments that assist us with funding grants, so we kind of go down as a team and meet with the DNR, MEDC, rural development, the people who, you know, we get grants from. So it was nice to go down there, put a name and a face, and kind of, you know, let them know what Ironwood's about or kind of what projects we're working on. Some of the things that were talked about at the MML, of course, is community development, you know, talent and economic development, how businesses and colleges and communities can work together to draw talent and keep talent into the area. They also talked a lot about municipal reform, and there's a huge concern over the disinvestment in communities at the state level, and some kind of interesting information. And nationwide, at the state level, most states have seen a 48% increase in their revenue sharing, and this is most states, while Michigan has seen a 57% decline in the investment from the state. If you go to the MML site and kind of see what we have, from 2002, Ironwood itself has had over $3 million diverted from the revenue sharing. So it's kind of sad that we're not getting the monies coming in like we used to keep our city running and providing the services that we'd like to. But overall, I think it was a very good event, learned a lot. They also had one point where they had several awards. There's a Sinclair Award, which recognizes a person who promotes education and training for elected officials. And I would just like to say that Scott Erickson, our city manager, did receive the Sinclair Award. Scott works well with the staff here at the building to kind of keep the commission informed. When we have commission changing, we have the workshops that keep us in line. We have the training. We have the presentations at the different meetings. We've gone on visits and road trips and just to kind of see what's going on. Scott also maintains an open door policy, and I think that's part of having a commission that's able to make informed decisions. So thank you, Scott, for all that you do, and congratulations on the Sinclair Award.
Okay, and I would just like to tell everyone that you know, being a longtime resident here, and you know, this winter was an easy winter, and then in February we received a lot of snow, and I think basically our snow left us with that warm 4-day period 3 weeks ago, and I don't think that the city of Ironwood has ever looked better, and part of that is the way that our garbage pickup is with those cans and that recycling. But in other years, I know that snowplows and people's garbage had been scattered underneath banks in a lot of areas, and I didn't see that this year. And the other thing that I noticed was that outside of 2 instances, maybe that have been reported, where water was on streets, the majority of the town and our infrastructure really handled it well. So, just a great spring for, I think, the city of Ironwood, and real happy with the way things are going. And I know part of the MML convention, I was able to go online and look at how they rate streets, and looked at our city of Ironwood and the Paisley ratings, and just amazing, all of the work that's been done on streets. And even more amazing is the fact that we've lost those revenues over the years, but still managed to stay on top. So great job, all of you. Great job.
Any other matters? Item M, consider closed session to discuss contract negotiations with Ironwood Professional Police Association and AFSCME Local 158 unions.
I'll make a motion, we go into closed session.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Tower to go into closed session. Any further discussion on this item? I need a roll call.
Mildred?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes. We will officially go into closed session, and we will return to open session.
Hewitt.
We're not offline yet.
Is that Celia and Wembley here?
Yes. What, I should have asked, I forgot. Was there, what was the
While you're waiting here,